Hi all, Bones here, and welcome back to the workshop and welcome back to the channel. In this episode I am going to be going through the overhaul of this D7 Pastoral that's been brought in by a customer for us to have a look at. Bit of a background on the bike. He's inherited the bike from his father, a bit elderly. He was a bit concerned about some of the work that had been done, and he was very astute in asking us to pull the engine apart. I showed you in the previous video that we've already done that, but there was a fair few things wrong. Some of it would have been absolutely catastrophic. Things like the gudgeon pin clips, neither of the gudgeon pin clips were all the way in the grooves properly, so they would have popped straight out. Strip thread on the gear selecting mechanism inside, so we had helical 2 threads in there. They actually had metric bolts screwed into them. Pieces in the clutch missing, pieces in the clutch springs and that around the wrong way. The actual cups and everything were all around the wrong way. Some really weird clutch plates. So anyway, we've got the engine all done and I'm starting to get into the cycle part. So I'll just show you where we're up to and what the challenges are that we're facing at the moment. So there's our forks pulled apart there. We do have some issues, and one of the first issues, we've already done it, was the studs that are in the end of the fork springs are missing. So these are cycle threads, so I've had to machine up new studs for both of the springs. But the next challenge is that the little nut that goes in there is actually a reduced AF, like reduced across the flats to fit inside that. So this is the Bantam specialist tool that for this very job, and I actually use a 12mm socket, but you can see how much I've had to machine the wall thickness down on it to be able to get it to engage the nut and go inside that little socket in the fork top nut. So I've got to get and machine up some hex to be able to actually do that. Both forks are missing the top bushes, but we've got new ones of those to go in, and it had these fork gaiters on, which I don't know if I'll be putting them back on, to be honest. Well, I can't, because I'll just drop straight over. And interestingly enough, if we come over here, they put this setup over the forks, and there's some discs here somewhere. Yeah, they'd slid these like over the fork leg to sit on top of the nut. Don't know why, but anyway. So what we will do is we'll go back and fit them up with a normal fork gaiter, like that's on the D1. So we're on the Pastorals as well. So we'll get that all done. So time to go and set the milling machine up and machine up some nuts to suit these. That was our last cut. Hopefully that's perfect, and I want it to be. So I've turned this down to 11.9mm. So that just gives me a bit more clearance than 12. Not much, but it does. We'll just take it out of the indexing head. So over onto the lathe now, and we will drill and tap some holes in that. See a tiny bit of movement there. So we'll drill and tap that out and make those nuts up. So there's our 2 nuts done there. And you can see in there how big the hole through that nut actually looks. So anyway, we've got it done. Pretty standard cycle thread. So I am nearly ready to start assembling these forks now. What I will do though, before I fit them back to the bike, is actually drop the head stem out and just check all the head stem bearings in there to make sure they're all right and the right amount of numbers in there. So just about to pull the top head stem bearing out. You can see I've got a cable tie around the steering lock here. That stops the whole head stem just dropping on the floor and dropping all those bottom rolling elements out. This doesn't look like it's got that much grease in it, and if it is, yeah, it's only got a tiny amount. However, all the balls there, and it doesn't look like there's any corrosion at this stage. So we will cut the cable tie, we'll drop the bottom one out. Hopefully all the balls don't go flying everywhere, but they probably will. They actually look pretty good. They're just it's just lacking a bit of grease. So we've got 2 missing there. We should, yeah, we've got 2 down here. So that's all right. I'm just going to bang a bit more grease at the racers, and everything look really good actually. I wouldn't be surprised if they're actually new. So that's good, very happy with that. I think it's just been sitting there. I think it's just been sitting a while and hasn't really done anything, so yep. And that grease certainly isn't contaminated or anything like that. Very good. So I've got the forks in. I was just doing a check. We do have a tiny little bit of movement, so we'll just nip up our adjuster just a tweak. Try it out again. No, still got a bit in it. Touch more. Oh, not much now. So yeah, there's nothing in that. So those forks have gone back together very well. So we'll put the headlight shroud back on, get all that on, get the front wheel back in. Apparently the customer said that the front wheels have been rebuilt, so I'm not touching those. Then we'll get all our handlebar hardware back on. That's our front end done. So time to move on to a few other things, but I'll show you when we get to those. So as you can see, we've got the front end on, but not without some challenges, let me tell you. So there's front mudguard stays missing, but luckily enough, I think that's the plunger rear stay is very, very close. So we're going to put a set of these on. I haven't got a set of the proper D7 one-piece mudguard stay, but that's all right. Around this side, where the anchor nut is for the torque on the brake backing plate, there's stuff out of alignment here, and it's pulling the brake backing plate over. So I'm going to have to undo it, drop the wheel out, put a shim in between the arm on the fork leg and the brake backing plate, so I can square that plate up. So, but other than that, everything else went together pretty well. So we will be moving on to fixing some stuff up down here, which I'll show you in a sec. But I'll just keep progressing and get this front end sorted out and the brake cable, and it's going all right. So now going on with the midsection of the bike, there's a bit missing and not happening here. So obviously the spacer bushes and these plates aren't fitted up for the rear pillion footrests. The centre stand was around back to front. That needs to be sorted out, greased and fitted up. And also the rider footrest pegs aren't fitted up. So we'll get those all on. Front end's all done. Very happy with that. It's going, that went really well. It took a fair while to get it sorted. So, and then I've got a problem in the frame here. There's a thread that's damaged in there. So I'll have to drop the back wheel out, and well, I had to drop the back wheel out anyway because I'm changing the sprockets because we're putting 420 chain and sprockets on this bike. And I've just got to run a tap through there and sort out some of the mismatch of fasteners. So yeah, we'll keep cracking into it. So putting centre stand springs on any bike. Put it onto the centre stand first, and then use the centre stand to actually lever it around and get it into the right position rather than try and get a hook and try and pull the spring over it. You've got more chance of fitting a whale up your bum than getting it that way without causing some damage to the bike, or more importantly, causing some damage to yourself. So these bolts on a D7 going through here are a cycle thread shoulder bolt, and they're designed to go in so far, and then you have a lock nut on the back of them. This unfortunately is missing one of the lock nuts. I'll let the customer know. I'm sure he could follow one up. Go to Classic Fasteners or somewhere like that and buy one. I won't make one because it's just unnecessary. I mean, the bike will function fine without a lock nut on the back. It just stops it vibrating out and you'll be losing it. So I did end up having another cycle thread nut to suit that, so that's working really well. Now we're just going to drop the engine plate on, the rear foot peg plate on. So that goes on the outside here, and what we have here, I was just shining a torch up there before. I will take out this Tekka Lemmet grease nipple, put in a normal grease nipple and actually pump up the swing arm, so because you can get a fair bit more pressure in there. So we'll just get this all lined up and in, and we'll be able to start putting some rear foot pegs and the like on. It's going good. So just taking the foot pegs back off because both of them are bent like bananas. So time to get the oxy out and give them a straighten up. So I've got to bend it back towards me, and I've got to bend it down as well. So this one's the worst one. So we'll get a fair bit of heat into it. But believe it or not, it's pretty hard to clamp it in the vise because there's a shoulder in it that rotates. So half of the back of it is actually machined out. We're getting close now. I'm probably in the way, sorry about that. That's that one done. It's good. It's really good. Oh, this has been in a vise before. So, oh, righto. So this one's been in a vise before. I'm just having to rethink whether it warrants me going to such extremes as to tongue out a little bit. I think I'll leave it. Put it on and I'll see how it looks. That one's come up well. We'll wait for that to cool down. We'll get this one back on. Rightio, so things are progressing. We're about to put on the CDI unit. So we've got the rotor in, and I'm just about to mount this up. Now this is a B CDI-2, so it's for a D7 and the D5. So, well actually, I'll bring it down a little bit. You might be able to see. They've got the hole in the side cover there. So these are all bullet connected, so we can run through and come up and get that all done. But I'll get that done and I'll bring it back after I've slotted it and threaded it all through. So I just got just put the stator on. I'm just about to run the wires through, and this is why it's bullet connected for this model, as I said before. So I'll get these wires poked up through, and then we just run the whole loom around the spine of the frame until it goes. There we go. So tucked in there like so, and up to there. So I'm not going to put, I supply these with spy wrap to do the loom, but we've obviously got to do the actual power loom yet, so I won't worry about doing that till I get that all in, plus the kill switch. So, but anyway, it's all in place. Rightio, so we just got the chain on. The front wheel has been laced out of alignment, and so is the back wheel in the opposite direction. So customer request was that we don't touch the wheel, so we won't. I'll just let him know so he can have someone take a look at it. But other than that, everything's functioning all right. We're just getting rubber kit on now, and we'll do a bit of a mod on the mud guard, rear mud guard, and we'll get that on. So sounds like Levi coming in on his new, no, he's heading off on his new 2-stroke. So there's Just over there. He's just rinsed out the tank. We've had vinegar in that for about 2 weeks, but 2.5 weeks, so it's come up really, really good. I can't really show you inside the tank, but we've got a bit of a major problem here. So our suspicions were this guard was not original, and the proof of that is down here. It's hitting the chain, or the chain's hitting it. So we've got our chain rung in, and there's no clearance there. So I'm gonna have to pull it out and do a bit of panel beating to get some clearance in on that. We haven't got the guard done up. The other thing that was the clearance between the swing arm and the guard. Like this guard actually sat down on the swing arm. We've already trimmed about I think 6 or 7 mil out of it, just so the swing arm's got some clearance without hitting the bottom of the guard. But now this is turned up. That's just proof that they've obviously used these brackets and riveted back on to a different guard that's not quite right. And the thing is absolutely chockers full of bog too. So if you look up in here, you can see where we've attached it. It's all crazy and cracking, but I mean, once we fit it and it's got a coat of paint on it, you know, you'd never know. But anyway, guard's got to come out, bit of panel beating. So we've done the repair to the guard. You can see in there we've got probably 6 to 8 mil clearance in there now. Like you can wiggle the chain, it won't hit the guard now. So I was pretty happy with that, because this can all turn pear-shaped when you're doing a bit of panel beating. Next problem, this is stripped. Now this came separate from the engine. I didn't notice it. There's a thread in there, you can see it, but it's not much chop. So out with a helicore kit, quarter BSW, and we'll get that fixed. How's that looking in the horizontal, mate? Pretty good. You go and do your stuff, mate. So we've got that tapped out now. Just getting ready to run the helicoil in. So all's gone well. So we've got another helicoil in here, third one in this engine. So we're just doing a button the side cover back up. And I'm actually toying with the idea of going for a start with a remote fuel tank, because the carby on this, being a Mikuni, they do have a maximum angle they can be tilted at, and I reckon this is going to go close. So I just want to see if the engine will fire up and everything like that. So yeah, I think we might just get the remote tank, put it on the roller starters and see if we can get it to fire up, which would be good. So yeah, that's all done. Keep going. Alright, moment of truth. We've decided to put the remote fuel tank on and give it a kick over and see how we go. It's obviously not leaking. Choke's on. Oh, fuel's not on. That'll do it every time. We'll wait for the fuel bottle to fill up. Try choke again. It's got good compression. I'm just looking at the overflows and see if there's anything coming out. It's all looking good. That's a Mikuni carby on a Bantam. I'm trying to think what the customer said. I think it's the 32mm, which I thought might have been a bit big, but I can tell you right now, it's as crisp as anything on the throttle. It's really, really good. Just no adjustments other than adjust that the idle for your slide. And that's also why you have an electronic ignition. So very, very good. We do have a potential problem that we've got to speak to the customer about. When we had the vinegar in the tank, it looks like it's got a leak, like a tiny weep at the back where it actually mounts here. So because we've just cleaned the tank out and it had a huge amount of shit in it, rust, we may have to put a tank sealer through it, or he might want to put a tank sealer through himself. It'll save himself a few bucks rather than us do it. From here, I've got to do a bit of a modification on the left-hand side cover and wire it up, and that's it. She's done. So for the video, I think this will do it. So thanks very much once again to all my subscribers. Thanks for tuning into the channel, and from Justin and I at BSA Bantams, we'll see you later.